In the last class, what we discussed, guys, we discussed about what is version controlling system, correct? Why we need version controlling system? We need version controlling systems to store, monitor, and track text-based files. That is the reason we need version controlling system, correct? And what are the other things that we discussed apart from what is version controlling system? What are the advantages of version controlling system? And what is client, correct? What is server? Your version controlling system works on the concept of client server architecture, correct? We all also discussed what does this client do. It helps you to connect with the server, just like your mobile application, phone pay or some application. What does this server do? Server is like your bank application, bank server, correct? What it will be having? It will be having all the transaction details, okay? But it will not be having all the transaction in a single folder, right? It will be having, this is, you'll not be having multiple, sorry, you'll not be having a single account number for multiple people. You'll be having a different account number for each of the user, right? So that is here, we call it as a repositories, correct? So repositories are nothing but different projects in your version controlling system. Okay. And we also discussed some terminologies. What are those terminologies? We discussed about checkout or check-in. Next one is check-in or commit. And anything else we discussed apart from this? Anyone, guys? Anyone, please respond. Okay, fine.
Central repository,
Sorry.
central server like GitHub.
Yeah. Like what is we discussed client side, we need to install GitHub, sorry, Git, and you need to create a GitHub account. This is your server side. This is in your local computer. This is somewhere in the cloud. They already created. You just need to go here and create your account. This is what I already explained, correct? This I explained to you. Installation part, everything is pending from my side. Fine. Okay. So the next. Again, see, I hope everybody is clear till now. Whatever the things I'm telling you, why we need, why, what is the use of this, how they're using it, why they're using it, all those things we are discussing, correct? So now, again, today mostly it is also going to be a story, but kind of a different story. See, if you just attend my first class and second class of Git and GitHub, you already learned 75% of your Git and GitHub. You know this. But only thing what you don't know after this class, what you don't know, you just don't know commands, how to use these commands. You already know what is GitHub, how to store this, everything you already know if you complete today's class as well. This is kind of what I'm trying to do. I'm going step by step manner. Okay, that is first I introduced you what is Git, what is everything. Today, what I'm trying to do is today we'll see what is the workflow. What is the workflow of Git and GitHub? How it will communicate, what happens, what if we do this, all these things that we'll discuss. If you just understand this class, okay, whatever the things that comes in the next classes onwards, it's very easy. Only use what is from next class onwards. I'll show what is this command, what it will do, and why we use it. That's it. But all the explanation today will complete. Okay. I'll be including some commands as well. Okay. But not a theory. It is completely going to be a theory part. Practical will do it from next class, tomorrow onwards. Okay. First command for today. Where is this? Okay. What is the first command that we are going to discuss? Before this, let me see. This is my GitHub account. Okay. And this is my local computer. Okay. And here in my GitHub account, what I'm having, I do have some files here. This is, let's say, this is my Flipkart project repository. Flipkart project, we all started working in, and there are some files already exist in your GitHub repository. Okay. Now, as a new joinee here. Who is that new joinee? I am a new joinee to this project. Now, I should start working on this project, correct? If I want to start working on this project, what I need? I need all these files. These files I require, correct? See, if I want these files, what I can do? I need to download. I need to download these. One second. Okay. I need to download. I need to download these files from my GitHub account to my local repository. Okay. So everybody understood this? See, there is a GitHub account. In that GitHub account, I have some files, some text-based files. Now, there is my laptop here, and inside my laptop, what I'll do, first I'll install my Git as a client, just like your PhonePe application. Okay. Now, as a new member, I have given a new laptop, and inside that I've installed Git. Now I need to start working on this project. So if I wanted to start working on this project, I need these files which are stored in GitHub. Okay. So for that, first what I need to do, I need to download these files into my Git repository or into my local workspace, into my computer. Okay. So if you wanted to download these files, okay, then you are going to do something called as clone. Okay. See, what is clone? Guys, clone is a, let's say, let me write it here, or let me write it in a notepad. Where is this? Okay. Git, let me increase the font size. Where is this? Okay. Git clone. Just for your understanding, git clone is a command used to download or copy, or I'll use the word bring the files or files or content from where you are bringing, sir? You're bringing from remote repository to your local repository. Okay. Or to your computer. See, what is git clone? Git clone is a command used to download, copy, or bring. Is a command used to bring files from remote repository to your local computer or local repository for the first time. See, please remember this first time. Okay. Now let's see this. I hope everybody understood. It's just a command, git clone. How to use this? Git clone, and you just need to provide the URL of this repository, GitHub repository. That is URL or link of this repository. That's it. It will just download. Okay. See, practicals I'll show you. Just please understand this. What is the use of git clone? Git clone is used to download or bring the files from remote repository to your local repository for the first time. Please remember the word first time. Okay. Now, before this, I forgot one more thing. Did you guys understood this? What is git clone? Guys?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. See, now please tell me what this command will do. Mkdir git repo. What this command will do?
Create a
It will
Git
just
repo
create a
folder.
Create a folder.
Yeah, it will just create a folder or directory. Correct? What kind of directory? It is same normal directory. Correct? There is no difference in creating with if I'm just creating with the name Git repository, it is not going to be a Git repository, actual Git repository, right? It is kind of another ABCD. It is also a folder I'm creating or a directory I'm creating. And if I'm creating mkdir Sachin, all those are normal directories. Okay. Now, my task is I wanted to convert this ABCD repository. This is from normal repository, a normal repository to a Git repository. Okay. See, I wanted to convert this normal repository to Git repository. Already this is existed. This directory is there. Now, if you wanted to do that, what you need to do is you just need to use git init. Okay. Git init, what it will do? It will convert your normal folder or directory into Git repository. That's it. Okay. So let me show this first. We'll go step by step. Where is this? See, where I'm in ls. Let us create one more mkdir. Let's say some Sachin. Okay. See, Sachin is created now. Now, let me go inside Sachin. How I am going inside? CD Sachin. Okay. If I just do LL, what does LL means for? Long listing, correct? It shows you all the files, hidden files, everything included in your present working directory. See, here I just have 2 hidden files and nothing else apart from that. Okay. Now, as I told you, it is just like a normal folder here. It is just like a normal folder. It is not a Git folder. Now, I wanted to convert this normal folder into a Git folder. What you just need to do, just come here, git init, git init, git initialization. What this command will do, it will convert your normal folder into a Git repository or Git folder. Okay, just click on enter and see it has done something. Don't worry about what is all these things. Okay, now if I just LL, see, earlier it was not there. Now it has downloaded something called as .git. So it has converted your Sachin folder or Sachin repository from normal repository to Git repository. Clear, guys? I think it is clear. And git init is a command which is used to convert normal folder into a Git repository. Or you can also use this git init to initialize or create an empty git repository. Okay, that is also fine. What is the use of git init? It converts normal folder into a git repository. And what is the another thing? It creates or initializes an empty git repository. Nothing is there, correct here? See, it is just downloaded. This, it is converted and nothing, any other content apart from this, right? So that is the second thing. Now, see, now we discussed about git init. First, we discussed about git init. Second, we discussed about git clone. Okay, what is the use of git clone? Git clone is used to download the files from or bring the files from remote repository to your local repository for the first time. Please remember, first time. Okay, now here is my GitHub account. Okay, now here is my local laptop. Fine. Now what I'll do, I'll clone this. That is, I'm downloading these files for the first time. Once I download these files, what I'll do, sir? What I need to do? I'll do some modification, correct? I'll do some modification, that is, let's say here in this, we have one file. This file consists of 1, 2, just the numbers 1 and 2. Now I'll do some modification to the same file. I'll just add 1, 2 and 3, 4. I'm just adding 2 more numbers. Once I added these things, what I need to do? I'm done with my work. I just added these 2 things and I'm completed my work. Okay. Now what I should do, sir? Again, I should store this to your GitHub account. Correct. This is because we already know Git and GitHub both are used to provide a parallel development. That means if you're working in a distributed environment, there are multiple people are also working along with you. Correct. So here there might be another person sitting and he's also waiting for this file. Correct. He wants to download this. He wants to clone this file. Now I should modify this file and again I need to store back or keep it back, store back or keep it back files to your GitHub account. Correct. So in order to do these things, once, see, let me repeat, from your GitHub account, what you will do to your local computer, first you'll clone it. Once you clone it, what you will do, you'll do some modification to those files. You are done with your modification. Once you are done with your modification, what you need to do, you need to store back or keep it back these files into your GitHub account. That is what you need to do. So in order to store these files back to your GitHub account, you need to do something called as push. Okay. See, what is push? Push is used to, let me write it down here for your reference. Push or git push is used to push the changes from local repository to the remote repository. Okay. See, once you're done with your changes, what you're doing, you're just storing back, keeping back these changes from your local repository to your remote repository. That is why you need push. Okay. Clear, guys? It's just kind of this. See, it is just kind of, you have 2 friends, you and your friend. You are just pushing him. Where you're pushing him? You're pushing him to go to his house. See, if imagine this is your hand. What are you doing? See, bro, you go and sleep in your home. Okay, that is what he is telling, and you're pushing this. And where he's going, he should go. He should go to his home. That is what I'm doing. See, this is me here, and what I'm doing, I'm pushing this changes to GitHub. Bro, go and store in GitHub account. That is the meaning of push. Clear? General meaning, pushing. Okay. Next. Next is now let us assume the scenario that again you have your GitHub account. Okay. You have a GitHub account and you have some team members now. First team member, second team member, third team member, and fourth team member. There are different team members here now. First, second, third, and fourth. And what I'm doing, there are some files here, sir. What are those files in your GitHub account? 1, 2, 3, and fourth file. There's some content available in these files as well. Okay. Now, please observe here. And I already installed Git into these systems. They already installed, they already started working on these projects. Okay. Now, see, I'll start working on Monday. This is a Monday. Monday, all 4 employees are present. All this first, second, third, fourth, all 4 employees are present. And what they'll do first for downloading the files into those systems, what they'll do, they'll clone. First, they'll clone the repository. Once they'll clone, they'll modify some changes, they'll add some content, delete some content, whatever the things they wanted to do. Once they are done with those activities, then what they'll do, they'll store back, keep it back. That is, they'll do push operation. This is for the first day. Okay, first is perfectly fine. Then I'll come to second day, sir. What is the second day? Second day is, what is this? Tuesday. Correct? See, Tuesday now, out of this 4 employees or 4 colleagues, 3 are present and 1 is on leave. Okay. See, 3 are present and 1 is on leave. Now, what these 3 will do? These three will start working on, again, they need to download these things. They'll start working on the other things as well. He'll also start adding or deleting some content. He'll also add or deleting some content to these files. Once he's done, what he'll do, he'll just push back the changes to it. Okay. This is the second typical day. Now, I'll come to Wednesday. Wednesday, again, 4 people are there. Again, this person is back from leave. Now, see, on Monday, this guy, 4th guy, was working on something. He did all the changes and he pushed back to his remote repository. He pushed all his changes to remote repository. That is completely fine. Okay. But on Tuesday, this 4th guy is on leave. On third day also, some of the people, these 3 people, have modified some changes to these files. Correct? They did some changes to these files. And that day, this 4th guy is on leave. Okay. Now, and again, on 4th and next day, once he come back, what you need to do, sir? See, in his computer, he already have some files. He already downloaded it. Correct? He already downloaded it. Again, all these 4 files are available here. 1, 2, 3, 4. These 4 files are available. And there is some content also available in this. But the problem is, see, if he starts working on these files, this is the old content he is having, because on second day he was on leave, correct? So second day, all these three people have made changes to these 1, 2, 3, 4 files. They updated these files and again they stored back into your remote repository, correct? But now this guy is having old files. That doesn't work. You need to use this latest files for doing your operations, correct? So in order to download these files from remote repository to your local repository, what you used to do, sir, you used to do clone for the first time. Now if you just need to update your local repository, again, see, let me complete this, I'll come back. Just to update your local repository, see, your remote repository is having latest files and your computer is having old files. This is because you're on leave for one day, correct? Some people already worked and they stored it into your remote workspace. Now I need to download these things. As you already know, to download you need to use clone. Okay, clone is for the first time, sir, please remember, only for the first time. If you're doing or downloading the files from your local to your remote repository to your local computer, then you need to use clone for the first time downloading. Okay, if you're downloading from the second time to get the latest files into your computer, okay, from the second time onwards, you need to use something called as pull. Pull is nothing but take the latest file from remote repository. That's it. See, what does pull do? It will just update your workspace. That's it. See, 1, 2, 3, 4 are files. So there is some content ABC. Now, when I was on leave, on second day I was on leave, they updated this ABCD second file with ABCDEFGH. Okay, now it is updated and again stored into your remote repository. Now, my local computer doesn't have this content. It has just this content. Now I need to work on the latest files. So for downloading the latest files from second time or third time or 100th time, what I'll do, I'll just use pull, git pull. Okay, what is this git pull? Git pull is a command which is used to bring changes, I can use the word, bring the latest changes from remote repository to your local repository. Clear? And what is the difference between git pull and git clone? Git clone is used to download or bring the files or directories from remote to local. Same, sir, but only for the first time you're going to use clone. From second time onwards, what you're going to use? You're going to use pull. Clear? Guys, any doubt here?
No, sir.
Sachin, one doubt here. Like, assume we were very new for GitHub. So at that time, like how to connect our local to GitHub? Like, is it directly connected? Is there any other?
No. I'll show you. Do not worry.
Okay.
I'm going step by step. I'll show you how to install Git, how to create a GitHub account, how to establish a connection between these two. Okay. What is the username that you need to provide? Everything that I'll show. No need to worry, sir.
Okay.
Yeah. Just give me some time. I'll just show you. Okay. I'm just trying to clear the concepts first. What is the workflow that you are going to do in GitHub or Git? That I wanted to clear. Okay. Till now, what we discussed? Git init we discussed, Git clone we discussed, correct? And what is the another thing? Git push we discussed, and next one is Git pull we discussed. Git init, what it will do? Any answer, sir? Fatafat.
Create Git repository.
It creates the
convert
Git
normal to
repository. It converts normal to Git repository. That is the use. What clone will do? Just download the files from remote to local for the first time. What push will do? Once you are done with the changes, once you are done with the modification, it keeps back the files into remote repository. Correct? What pull will do? It brings the latest changes from remote repository to your local repository. That's it. Okay. See, now again there is another command known as git fetch. See, this git pull and git fetch both are exactly same to bring the changes from your remote repository to your local repository from the second time onwards. What you can use git pull and git fetch. But what is the difference? That we'll see. But as of now, please remember git pull or git fetch both are used to do the or bring the changes from remote to your local repository. You're doing the same thing using two commands. Just remember that. Okay. Now, let's say now before getting into another topic, I need to tell you this. In software development or in any company, if you don't know this, please understand this. If you already have some prior knowledge in IT, you already know this. Okay, this is just a normal thing. Okay. See, there is some company. What is that company? Let's say Infosys. Now, what Infosys will do? Infosys wanted to develop some application. What is that application? Let's say this is a Flipkart application or Facebook application. Now they wanted to develop. See, let's say this is your 30-40 site, 30-40 plot. Now, what I wanted to do, see, this is me. What I wanted to do, I wanted to construct house here, some house I wanted to construct here. If I wanted to construct a house, where I'll go sir, first, I'll approach some person or some engineer. I'll approach some engineer, correct? What this guy will do, they'll plan, you'll do everything and you'll start working. Who will start working, sir? Some laborers or workers would come to this place, this site, and they'll start working. Correct? See, as a individual, this is Sachin, and what I wanted to do, I am planning to construct a house. So what I'll do, I'll go to one organization, some person, and he'll plan and he will do everything. Then from next day onwards, workers or laborers will come to that my site place or location. They'll start working. So they here are workers. Please remember this word, workers. Okay. Now, see, if you observe in this situation, workers are working. Engineer has already given some plan. Now, there is another person who visits this place, just to see everything is going good or not, just to check, whether all those things are according to the plan or all plans, everything is executed according to the plan or not. Just to see this, there is one person known as engineer, or every evening he'll come and he'll just see what is happening. You know this scenario, right? I think everybody know this. Workers will do their work, they'll leave. Once after that, who will come? He'll come. One engineer will come. He'll pay some amount, 10 or 15K. Daily he'll come and he'll just check whether everything is going good or not. Why he is doing? Just to see everything is going according to the plan or not. That is what he is doing. See, just apply same thing here. Okay. Now there is a person. Who is this? Can I call it as a client? Here Sachin was the client, but here there is a person. What you wanted to do? Here I wanted to build some house. Okay. Here I wanted to build some Facebook application. This is my plan. Now what I'll do, I don't have anything to do. I don't know how to build this. Now I'll come to some company, some organization. That organization is your Wipro, Infosys, TCS, whatever. You'll come to this organization. Once you come to this organization, what they'll do, they'll plan everything and they'll start working. Now, right? So who will start working? Here in this scenario, these are workers. But in your in our organization, we'll start working developers. These are here workers, here developers. What these developers will do, they'll start writing a code. Here they'll start using your brick, cement, everything to build this wall and everything. Correct. But here in what is this, in companies, what developers will do, they'll start writing the code. This code might be in C, C++, Java, Python, Golang, any language. They'll be using any language, or Python, any language. So they'll start constructing similar to your building the house. Okay. Once they build it, developer has built some code, as written some code. Now what I need to see, I need to check whether everything is working fine or not, right? Correct. Just like this engineer, just to see whether everything is according to the plan. Now here, let's say this developer has developed some login page. Login page he has developed. Now what I need to do, this engineer should, there is another engineer. What he should do, he should check whether this login page is working fine or not. Everything is according to the plan, or everything is working fine. Are there any issues, any bugs, just like that? So whoever the engineer is checking was whether it is working fine or not, we call it as quality analyst or testing engineers. Okay. Here this was a normal engineer, civil engineer, but in this scenario is a QA or testing engineer. I hope everybody is clear with this. Who is developer, who is tester? Okay. Now, any doubts here? Yes.
No.
Okay. Now, see, just like that. Now, what I'll do, we already know Git helps us in parallel development. This is my, I'm just writing this symbol, parallel development. What do you mean by parallel development? Multiple people will be working on multiple things at the same time using single Git repository. That is what a parallel development. Now, let's say there are 10 people in my organization. Now, for my Facebook application, one person will come and will say, see, bro, I wanted to develop some login page and I wanted to develop some log out page. These are the two requirements that I wanted to develop. Now, for developing these things, who will do it? Developers will do it. Where they'll do it? They'll be writing in their local machines. They'll start writing the code in any language in their local machines. Once they are done with the changes, where they need to store, sir, these files, they need to store it in centralized repository, that is into your GitHub or GitLab. Correct? Because there are 10 members. This is a distributed team. There are 10 members. Multiple people are working. Once you're done with this code, where you're going to store? You're going to store in GitHub. That is fine. Okay. Now let's say there are two features, login and log off. Okay. See, whenever you create a GitHub account, GitHub server, what happens? You are going to create some project. Now I'm creating a project known as Facebook. Facebook project is created inside your GitHub account. Whenever you create this Facebook project, what happens? Something gets created. What is that? Just remember this line. We call it as a branch or branches. See, till now, everybody I think understood what who is developer, who is tester. Uh, what here we have a requirement of login and logout page from the client, and developer will store these files into these things, centralized repository. Now, I wanted to tell you, see, before starting this, please tell me if this is this, I don't know, this is my tree. Okay. Now, tree will be having multiple branches, correct? Here are some family members of the tree. It is a right family, right or left. This is left, right? This is a left wing, and this is a right wing. Here are some, again, some tree branches, all these things. See, we are calling this as a branch in your tree, correct? And this is a, can I call it as a main one, main branch? Okay. See, this is left, this is right. From again, this, again, from this one, again, you are going to create another branch. And from again, this one, you will be having another thing in your tree. In your real life, sir, I'm talking about. I'll just calling it as main branch. This is left branch, right branch, again sub branches. I'll just simply call it as a sub branch. See, just apply the same thing to your GitHub as well. So, in order to provide you a parallel development, what GitHub has done is, see, this is my major, this is my major main branch, or I'll call it as a master branch. When it gets created, it is created whenever you create a project in your GitHub account. By default, a main or master branch gets created. It will always create. You no need to worry. Now, see, now I'm having 10 people in my team, correct? These 10 people, I want 5 people to work on login page, and I want 5 people to work on logout page. Okay. Now, where they'll store all these files, they're going to store it in your main branch. Correct? Guys, any doubts still here? Can you able to relate what I'm saying? Please respond.
Yes, sir.
Okay. See, 10 people, I'm dividing them into 5. What they'll do? Well, these 5 people will work on login page. These will work on logout page. Now, I'm just changing a color for this one, just for your understanding. See, these are logout. Okay. Now, where is this? Just I need to clarify few things here. This is my main branch. Now, see, these people, all they'll store these files here. These 5 people, they can able to store this files in a centralized Git repository. This is your centralized Git repository. Now, what these people will do, sir? They'll also do the same thing, logout page. Correct? Now, all the files are stored in a single storage location, in a single place, correct? Now, there is a feature called as login. Those files also stored here. There is a feature known as logout. All these files are also stored here, correct? So now, whenever a person clone or pull from this repository, what happens? All these files will be reflected into your local repository, correct? That is what we are doing till now. All these files It will just bring back to your local repository. Now, if this person is working on logout page, you don't need these login pages, correct? Why you need these pages? Or there might be a security issue. You might misuse these files. Just because one person in login page and another person from logout page, they have some ego issues. They are have some fighting issues, let's say. So what he can do, he can just use this logout guy can use this login page some file, and he can do some modification or create some errors into that file. Just to keep it simple, there might be some security reasons, misuse of those files, correct? So in that case, I need to restrict, see, I need to restrict these files only to these five users, correct? And at the same time, I need to provide a space or provide a location to store these files into separate location, correct? I need to store these these login files in separate location, logout files in separate location. So in that way, restrict only these five users can access a particular location, and they need some private space to store these files. In order to do that, what we can do is, see, this is your main branch. From this main branch, in order to solve these issues, what you can create is known as branch. See, this I'll call it as logout branch. Okay. Now, what I'll do, instead of storing all these files into my main branch, where I'm storing all my logout pages into logout branch, and I'll provide access to only those five users will start working on this logout. Okay. Now again, I'll create another branch. What is that? Login branch. What I'll do, I'll just provide access to those people who are working on only login pages. Clear? So in that way, you can solve. There is a separate location for each and every individual or a group, separate location for a group to store these files, store, monitor, track everything in a separate location here. And at the same time, you also solved a security concern of accessing these files from unauthorized access, I can say. No, only the people who require these files, they can access. Unauthorized person, they cannot access these files. Okay. So branches are kind of a sub, if I just summarize this, if this is your main branch, let's say this is your main folder or directory, you are going to create a subdirectory below this, that is, let's say folder, subfolder 1, S1 and S2. So you can provide whoever is anyone who wants to access these files, only they can access. Restricted access, I can say. Restricted access and store those files. And here also restricted access. You can also create as many branches as you want. And you can also create a branch. See, this is my main branch. This is my sub branch. Again, from my sub branch, I can create another sub branch. Again, from my sub branch, I can create another sub branch. You can create as many sub branches from your main branch or from your sub branches. That is also possible. Now, let's say this is my, just to clarify some things with you. This is my main branch. Let me write it down. This is my main branch. From main branch, I'll create one sub branch 1. Okay. Then from this sub branch, again, I'll create sub branch 2. Okay. Now let's say login page. This is my login page. Login page branch. And from this branch, there are 5 people. What these 5 people need to do? They need to develop this login. And out of these 5 people, I'll segregate into 2 groups. One is 2, and I'm segregating into 2 groups. One group consists of 2 people, one group consisting of 3 people. Now what I'll do, I'll create again 2 sub branches from my S1, S2 and S3. I'll give access to 3 people to S3. I'll give access to 2 people so that they can start working on this branch individually, and they can also do the parallel development in different branches. So that is the major advantage of using branches. Clear till now, guys?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Zihan, Venkatesh, Suchitra, Suma, Sudha, Satish.
Clear, clear.
Clear, sir.
Yeah. Chetan, Divya, Sanjay, Harish, Jaypal,
Yes, sir.
Zihan, Krupal,
Yeah.
Rahul. Okay, so that is the advantage of using your branches. See, just in one word, I can say what is branch. See, this is your main branch, and you can create multiple branches in order to facilitate in order to facilitate parallel development and restricted access to your users. I can say this, but if I directly say this, you will never understand this. You must know why we need branch, what is the use of branch, everything. Okay, now let's get back to whatever we discussed. See, I'm creating some points in your mind, just like this. Till now, I've created some points. One point we started with git init. Next, we started git clone. Next, I did. Just give me a minute. I lost the network. Can you guys hear me now?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Sorry, I
Yes,
lost
sir.
the network.
Yeah.
See, what I'm trying to do here, sir, I'm trying to create some points in your Git, in your mind. I am trying to create these points. First, we discussed about init. Second, we discussed about clone. Next, we discussed about push. Next, we discussed about pull. Okay. Next, we discussed about what is branch and some things. See, now what I'm trying to do, first, you will do init. What it will do, you already know. Once it is done, what is the next thing? Here is your remote repository. From your remote repository, you need to download the files for the first time. What you will do, you'll just do git clone. Okay, once you are done, all your files are available into your in your local system. Once they are available, you just need to start modifying or start working on these files. Once you are done with your what is that? Once you're done with your modification or adding or deletion of a content, what you need to do, you need to store back those files into your remote repository. How will you do it? You will do just using push. Okay. And from second time onwards, if you wanted to bring back the changes from your remote repository to your local repository, instead of using clone, what you're going to use? You're going to use pull command. And just now we discussed about what is branch. Now, again, just In between your, here again, I need to create some connection between this clone and this push. In this gap, you are done with your clone. What you will do? You will do some modification, correct? Once you do the modification, what happens in your local repository? That I'm going to discuss now. Again, here in the middle, I'm creating another dot. That is kind of a connection line now. Okay. Now, see in your, 1 sec, in your Git or in your GitHub or GitLab, GitHub, GitLab, anything, you have two kinds of repositories. Repository is nothing but a folder or a directory. You already know this. This repositories, first one is remote repository or centralized repository. What is this remote repository? In your GitHub, you already stored everything. This we can call it as a centralized repository. As of now, just remember this. Now, there is another kind of repository, that is your local repository or a local folder. What is this local repository? In your computer, there is a folder known as ABCD. This is the folder where you have downloaded or cloned all your files and you need to start working on these files. That is your local repository, a folder or a directory inside your local machine, inside your laptop. That is what we call it as a local repository or local directory. Clear? Now, I need to discuss this one. Leave this as of now, this remote or centralized repository, that I'll come back to that later point of time. Now, my agenda is to discuss on what is this local repository. Okay. See, this is your computer. What is the first step you need to do, sir? First, you need to install Git into your local machine. This is kind of a client application, correct? This is a client application, just like your applications, Facebook, Instagram, anything, or PhonePe, any banking application. You need to install. Once you are installing these applications, we need to understand something called as Git workflow. Okay, what is this Git workflow? Let me discuss. Okay, what is this Git workflow? In your local computer, let me show you this first. See, this is my local computer, sir. I logged into one of the system and my Git is already installed. Just to see how what is happening here.
Seeing some glitch.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not writing all this arrow marks. Okay. But my mouse is also not working. Okay, fine. See, how will you see whether Git is installed or not? Just execute git hyphen version. If you're getting this response, then it is installed. Okay. Now, once the Git is installed, now next part is inside your local repository. This is my local repository now. In whichever the directory you are working, home Ubuntu or whichever the folder you are working, that is my local repository. Now,
Sachin,
yes, please.
Sachin, wonder like here we are going to install using that install code or like command is there. No, using that only we will install Git. Correct, right?
Yeah. Please do not worry about the sir. Just I'll show you everything that how to install, how to configure all those things. That is kind of a 10 minutes task you can do. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. See now inside your local workspace, you installed your Git application. In Git application, you actually have three areas. You do have three areas. What are those areas, sir? First one is, we call it as working area. Do not worry, what is this? I'll explain. Working area. Second one is staging area. Third one is local repo. Okay. Now, I'm just dividing this. Or let me do one. It's okay, fine. See, please understand this workflow of Git or understand this flow. Now, here is my GitHub account, centralized repository. What I'll do, I'll just clone this files from my centralized repository inside my computer. Now, what is this working area? Any answers, sir? Sir, it is kind of a space or a location where you start modifying. What do you modify? You'll add some content or delete some content to file, those kind of things you'll do to files. It is a space where you start modifying the files in your local computer. Let's say this is my file. What I'll do git clone. Let's say ls any there is some file known as cd git practice. Okay. Now what I'll do, I'll just do some git clone, and here you need to provide the URL. Okay. Let us assume I just provided a URL and some content is already downloaded. See, there is something called as Facebook. This content is already downloaded to my machine. CD Facebook. FA. Okay. It is having this Facebook project is having now these two files. Okay, whatever the things that I'm doing here, it is kind of a your working area, wherever you'll start working or you start modifying the files. Okay, that is what the meaning of working area. And one more thing, guys, here inside your working area, inside your working area, whatever the files you have, just remember, I'll come back to this point. Just remember, all these files are untracked from Git. Okay. See, just remember untracked word. It has not been tracked by the Git. Just remember this. I'll come back to this within a minute. See, working area. What is working area? Once you download or clone the files from your remote repository, it will be available somewhere here. Correct? That is the space or a location where you start working or modifying the files. And the files inside your working area are untracked. Please remember this word untracked. Okay, I'll show you this. Now, to make files from untracked stage or to move, now what you need to do is you need to move. This is kind of like this. This is your working area. This is your staging area, and this is your local repository. Now, all these files are untracked. whatever the modified files. Now, if you wanted to convert from untracked files to tracked files, that is, see what is this track? Whatever the files you edited here, it doesn't comes under Git radar. It is not tracking those systems. I told you Git is a version controlling system. Whatever the changes you make to your files, everything is tracked, right? Whatever you do, you add one dot, even one dot to this file, this should be tracked by the Git. But now, whenever you are working in your working area, the files are into untracked stage. Now, if you wanted to convert this status from untracked to track, what you need to do is you need to do something called as add. Okay. That is converting files from untracked files to tracked files. That is the first answer. That is the first thing that you should know. Okay. See, if you're getting confused, you have three areas: working area, staging area, and local area. In working area, files are untracked. Your modified files are untracked. So to convert from untracked to tracked, you need to use some command called as git add. What it will do, now your files are under tracking stage or under git radar. Now it will start tracking it. Okay. Once this is done, let me show this first. Otherwise, you will not get the clarity. Let's say cd. Okay, let me create one directory, mkdir area local repo. Okay, cd local repo here. Now what I'll do first, I'll create one file, a vi. File name is file1 dot. Just imagine this is a Java based file. Insert, this is Java file. Okay, file is created. Now, if you wanted to see what is the status of your file, now I've created one file, file1 in my working area. As I told you, it is an untracked file, correct? Now, if you wanted to see whether my file is in untracked state or in tracked state by Git, there is a command known as git status. Git status. See, if you just execute git status, not a git repository. Okay, one second. Git init. Now, if you execute git status, see, it is showing you these are the untracked files from your git repository. This is because your file is still is into working area. Okay, this is the first point you need to remember. Now, once you add this file from working area to staging area, you need to add this from working area to staging area just to make your file from untracked state to tracked state. Okay, how we are going to do it, sir? Just git add and just provide the file name, file1.java. That's it. Just clear this and just git add file1.java. Now, if I just execute git status, see, file is in tracked stage. Earlier, if you see here, the same file was in untracked state. Now, the same file is in tracked state. Now, if I add some, if I just change this content, sir, vi, what is that file? File1.java. I'll just modify this content. This is second line. Okay, I just added some more content to it. Let us execute git status command. See, earlier it was in tracked stage. Now it is showing, see, there is some content modified in this file1.java. Again, it is in untracked stage. Now, if you wanted to make it into a tracked state, what you need to do, git add and file name, file1.java. Correct? See, it is executed. Just let us see the status, git status. Now it is under your git radar. Okay, that is the first thing you should do. Whenever you create a file, once you create the file, create a file, modify the content. Once you're done with the modification, your file is in untracked state. To make this untracked state to track stage, that is, you're adding your file from working area to your staging area. Then what it will do, you need to use a command known as git add. That is the first command. Now, see, now I hope everybody is clear what is the use of git add. See, what is the time? 8:17. Okay, fine, no problem. Working area, staging area, and what is this? Local repository. If you wanted to add these files from working area to this one, from to make untracked to tracked, I'll be using git add. Okay. Everybody understood till here?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Guys,
sir.
any doubts, please? I hope everybody is clear. No issues. Fine. Now, see, this is the first use case. Working area is same. This is it. Just adding, making your files from untracked to tracked. That's it. But now, once you add your files from working area to staging area, first thing what it will do, sir, it will change the file status. It will change the file status from untracked to tracked. This is what happens once. Along with this, okay, just let me clear this first. Just a second, guys. Okay, it will change its status from untracked to tracked. That is the first point you should remember. Second, what it will do, sir, see, I told you, we talked about something called as metadata. Do you remember, guys? What is this metadata? Metadata is something information. It is an information. It consists of what is this information? Who made the changes? Why he made the changes? When he made the changes? What are the changes he made? All this information is stored. That is what the metadata is. Okay, this is kind of an information gets stored about that particular modification or changes. Now, whenever you add a file or a files from working area to staging area, what happens? A metadata gets created inside your staging area. Clear? Metadata also gets created here. Okay, guys. So
Yeah.
if you're using add command to add files from working area to staging area, then what happens here? Two things happens. One thing, converts file from untracked to tracked. Second thing, it creates a metadata for this conversion. Who did the changes? Why he did the changes? What are the changes he made to that file? All these things are tracked now. Okay. Now, if I make some changes to this file, let's see. See, we already have one file. It is, if you just execute git status command, see, it is already under your git radar. It is tracking this file. Now, see, let us edit this file. File, yeah, why it is very slow. File1.java. Ayo, this is not my file.
You were editing only file. You didn't type file one.
Oh, is it? Yeah. File1.java. See, this is the content of file. Now what I'll do, I'll add third line to this. This is kind of a modifying the file, correct? This is my third line. Okay, now I'm just saving. Please see here, if I just execute git status, see, it is telling you, okay, it is already, we are following up, sir. Git, this file is under radar, but you can see this changes not staged to commit. That is, you have modified some changes, you added some content or deleted some content, but which is not tracked by your, what is that? By your Git. So what you need to do, it is telling you add this file, add this to staging area. That is what it is telling you. Okay. See, even if you add single dot to this file, earlier, let's say my content is 1, 2, 3. Now my content is 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm just adding one dot to this file. It will say this is an untracked file because there is some new content to this file. That is how it will track. How it is tracking? It will compare this metadata with that thing. Do not worry. We'll get in deeper at later point of time. As of now, once you do add, what happens? The file status changes from untracked to tracked and metadata gets created here. Clear? And now tell me, what is this staging area? I told you what happens in staging area. Now tell me, what is this staging area? Can I
It
say,
is a,
yeah, please.
it is a area to track
Yeah.
all the works what we are going to do.
Yes, exactly correct. See, this you cannot, this is, I am telling you, this is in staging area, but you cannot see this. You cannot see this. This is because it is in virtual space. It is kind of an virtual space where it creates a metadata. Metadata, we also call it as a snapshot. Okay, when you take this screenshot, whatever the thing is available at that point of time, everything is available in that image, right? Similar to that, it is taking a screenshot or metadata for that file or to that group of files. That is what it will do, and it will make the status from untracked to tracked stage, and it creates the snapshot for it. That is what your staging area is. Clear with what is working area, what is staging area, guys? Any doubts here?
No, sir.
Okay, so now we discussed what is working area, what is staging area. Now you know how to use a add command. What is the thing here? Untracked stage, here tracked stage with metadata. Okay, there is another stage known as local repository. It's easy. Now metadata is getting created. Okay, now you need to move this files from your staging area to local repository. Once you move this staging files from staging area to local repository, what it will do is it will just create a transaction ID. Just kind of your bank transaction ID gets created, right? Similar to that, here it creates something called as a commit ID to this transaction, whatever the files you are adding. Okay, so that is the use of your local repository. For doing that, what you'll use something called as commit. Okay, so first working area, from working area, what you will do, you'll use add command. Once you use the add command, all the files are into staging area. So once the files are into staging area, where you need to move these files into local repository. Why you are moving? Because you are creating a commit ID for this transaction. Okay, once this is moved, then fine. Till now we discussed. Let us see this. Let me create. Oh, it is not working. Clear. Is not working here. Just a second. I'm just guys, you should have told me, right? I was on mute. Okay. Okay, no problem. We'll start from the beginning. See now. Okay, where did I create this? Now I've created a one more file known as file2.java. Okay. Now to this file, I'm adding there is some content. Cat, it is not there. Okay. vi file2.java. I'm just adding some content. This is my second file. I'm just added and I'm just saved that content. Once that is done, if you just execute git status, what it will show? See, your file2 is untracked. This is what it has given. Now, if you wanted to make my file from untracked to tracked stage, what I need to do? Git add and the file name file2.java. Guys, can you able to relate this? What I'm doing here?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So I think it is too much for today. Whatever the stories I told you, but just give me 5 more minutes. I'll just complete this. Even I had some extra things for today, but I don't think you all are interested. I am fine. Okay. Git add file2.java. I'm moving my file from working area to staging area. Just hit enter. See, if you just execute git status, okay, see, your file2 is moved. But we already did some changes, right? I added some third line to file1. I did not move file from what is that working area to staging area. Now let me do that. Git add. See, if there are multiple files, if you want to move from working area to staging area, instead of writing all those file names, what you can do is you can just uh, write it as a just dot. Git add dot means all the files. It will take all the files from working area and move it to your staging area. Okay, I'm just doing it now. Again, if I execute git status, see, all the files are in now in tracking under the git tracking. Now let's say now I told you we need to use another thing. What is that? Where is this? Guys, are you getting bored? Anyone? Okay. From working area, we moved all the files to staging area. Now what I need to do? I just need to move files from my staging area to local repository. For moving that files, what I'll do? I'll just use git commit, and you just need to provide some message, sir. -m. This is my first commit. I told you what happens if you move files from staging area to your local repository. A commit ID gets created. That does it. Commit ID gets created. Okay. Commit ID is this one. I'm just giving a message. Git commit -m, and this is my first commit. Just click on enter. See, it has added some files, created some files. And if you wanted to see what is that commit ID, git log is the command. See, it has created some commit ID for this transaction, and it is also saying what is the message we displayed, when it was done, and who it was done. It was done by who. All these details it is displaying. I think everybody is clear what we discussed till now. Let me revise, guys. Guys, are you there?
Yes.
Yeah.
Sushitra, you asked something. Push. I didn't get it.
No, we need to push it to the remote, right?
Yeah.
After
You are talking about this one, or
after coming from our local, we need to push it to the centralized.
yeah. I'll come.
Okay.
I'm just going step by step. See, first you need to do what you need to do. First, you need to do init from converting local to converting normal repository to Git repository. Then is your clone. This is your remote repository. This is my computer, and here you'll do clone. Once you are done with your clone, what you do? You need to modify these files. Earlier, what we discussed, once you are done with modification, this is my modification, correct? Once you are done with your modification, you're going to push those changes to your remote repository. But here, now, I'm just adding 2 more steps here. Once you do the modification, okay? Once you do the modification, what you need to do? First, you need to add those commands to change the status from untracked to tracked. First, you need to add, then you need to move that file from staging area to your local repository. For that, what you're using command. Once that is done, then you are going to push it to your remote repository. This is what the workflow, and we also discussed what is pull. Clear? Just to come back to this points, what I have written here somewhere. Where is this? Now, init, clone, and earlier we discussed directly about push, but now what you need to do before push, first you need to add those files. Once you are added, then you need to commit it. This is the point here. Clear? Guys?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I just explained you all the things. These are the basic workflow, guys. If you know this flow, okay, come here, clone the things, do the changes, add, commit, then push back to this one or pull. If you know this flow, whatever the commands that we'll discuss from tomorrow, it's very easy. I just wanted to explain you. And what is branches, everything that we discussed today. One more thing I left out for today, I planned was, I just wanted to explain you what is head in your this one. As you can see here, where is this? Here, there is something called as head. That is the only thing pending for today that we can discuss on maybe tomorrow. Okay. So that's it. Any questions? Yes?
Yes, sir.
Yes, please.
Sir, what is git fetch?
Ma'am, your voice is echoed. Hello?
Sir,
Yes,
sir,
please.
what is git fetch?
Git. See, git pull. What git pull will do? What git pull will do, ma'am?
Git fetch, sir. Git fetch.
Yeah. I understand. See, git pull is a command which is used to bring the changes from remote repository to your local repository, correct? That is what it is do. See, git fetch is also do the exact same thing, sir. It will also bring the changes from your remote repository to your local repository. But why we are using two commands for performing the same thing? See, this is also performing, bring the changes from remote repository to local. Git fetch also doing the same thing. But then there should be a difference, right? That we'll discuss in the upcoming classes. You no need to worry. Clear?
Yes.
Yes,
See,
sir.
what I'm trying to do here, I'm trying to create some workflow, sir. That is what I'm doing. I just need to connect these dots. I'm keep on adding some points here and there, here, somewhere. Some points I'm going to keep on adding so that you can connect to each and every point. Okay, that is the plan I have. And yeah, it will take some 3 more classes extra. That's fine. I'll do it. Okay. Now, any questions? Any other questions? So can you share your handwritten notes? This notes you want, who's that? Nagarjun. You're talking about this one. This I'm whatever the figures I'm writing. This is like what to say, man. This is kind of a garbage. I just keep on writing something. Even if I just come down here, whatever the things I wrote, I'll not understand. That's how my handwriting is. If you still want it, I'll give you. And guys, just give me 2 more minutes. I just wanted to clarify these things. See, working area, staging area, and local repository. If you did not understood what is this, let me give you another example. See, this is your working area. Just compare it with your college life. This is your staging area with your girlfriend, your life with your girlfriend or girlfriends or boyfriends. This is your married life. Okay. Now in your college, you are completely free. Nobody is like no restrictions, nothing, no restrictions. Correct here. You can go anywhere, you can roam anywhere, whatever the things you wanted to do, everything is possible. So that means you are untracked here. Nobody can track you. But when you get committed to your girlfriend or boyfriend, what happens? You have some restrictions. You have some restrictions. That means you are under tracking stage. Your girlfriend will call you or your boyfriend will call you. See, bro, this is what happening. All these things. But you can have as many girlfriends or boyfriends as you want. Just for your information. Okay. But here you can have anything. Correct. But here, once you come to this stage, you can have only one girlfriend or one wife. That is your local repository. That is, here you are into untracked stage, you are here into tracked stage, but in tracked stage, you are having multiple girlfriends or boyfriends. You are having multiple things, multiple metadata here. But here, what you are doing, you are creating out of these things, you are creating one unique ID or unique commit ID. That is, you are telling to people, see, she is my wife. There are no girlfriends now. Okay, this is my unique ID now. I hope everybody understood this story. Okay. If there are no questions, any questions, any last words?
No, sir.
Okay.
No, sir.
Okay. That's it from my end. Will so tomorrow what is the day? Okay, Sunday tomorrow. No class Sunday. Monday will continue this. Okay. And if you have any, please go through this first class and second class thoroughly. If you go through these classes, it's very easy, sir. Okay. Then, yeah. Thank you. See you on Monday. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank